with ulcerative colitis and what I do and my experiences with it. I wanted to touch base on diet, exercise, emotional support, natural therapies and drugs. So first things first, diet is huge. My specialist, I've been with the same specialist for 11 years. He diagnosed me and everything, but he never saw diet as a option or something that would get you into remission. I straight away went dairy free when I was diagnosed, just because I actually don't even know, like dairy just, I knew straight away that like it would gurgle. I'm like, ugh, no, I don't feel good. I've done gluten free, sugar free, like any diet out there that you can think of. I really tried it, like a health diet, not a losing weight diet, and none of them really got me back into remission. It would for a short amount of time, but literally probably every few months I'd be flaring up. I think age has a huge thing on it too. I was so young, I was 17. You don't want to give up all the chocolate and the lollies and the baked goods and all that. You just think that's going to be the worst thing in your life. But so you just keep doing it and you don't really care about what's about to happen if you do eat that stuff. Well, I didn't. I heard about this diet forever ago, and when I looked at it I was so overwhelmed. I just was like, there's no way I can do that. Again, I think age came into that. I was not ready for it, and I didn't really have something in my mind. Like what makes me want to do it now is I really want to extend my family and I need to be healthy. I need to be in tip-top shape. So the diet's called the specific carbohydrate diet. It is very strict when you first look at it, but when you look into the future of the recipes that you can eat, it's quite like, well, to me now I'm like, oh, I'm so excited because I'm on such limited food now. I started off doing their intro diet. I did this for, I think I lasted 3 days. It says you can do it 3 to 5 days until your symptoms start to ease, and I struggled. Yeah, I was very emotional. I was struggling, like, and not that it's my husband's fault, but like he'd sit down with his dinner and I'm like, oh my god, all I like want to do is just devour that. Like, will it hurt me that bad? Yeah, it will. And I just looked at the big picture of where I could be a year, 2 years down the track if I stick to this. It took me a little bit to get into remission and to start adding foods in. You can add one food in every 3 to 5 days. It's pretty much like feeding a 6-month-old baby. You want to see if anything reacts. I added in zucchini to start off with because I ate zucchini every single day. Like, I roasted zucchini and had it with my dinner. And funny enough, as soon as I added it in, I was so sick. Like, I felt it almost instantly. My tummy like started like being in pain, and then symptoms started straight away again. So you make a food diary. I was like, well, yep, that's not working. So the SCD diet, for short, it if I was to try and explain it to someone who didn't know, I would say that it's grain free. No bread, no pasta, no rice, no starchy vegetables, so like high starch vegetables, so sweet potato I can't have, potatoes. It sounds difficult, but when I started doing it, the relief I got from my symptoms was so worth the minimal choices of food. I'm now eating, I can probably count them. I eat chicken, carrot, pumpkin, broccoli, cauliflower, eggs, almond butter, peanut butter. So I eat probably eight different things, and I don't know, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me eating the same thing over and over again. I quite enjoy, like, I make a roast every night and I usually have that leftovers for lunch the next day. Breakfast, I'll make an egg omelette, nothing else in there. Or for lunch, if I want to change it up, I'll have chicken with broccoli. Like, I roast broccoli with a bit of sea salt and olive oil. Yeah, it sounds very bland, doesn't it? But like, when you've had nothing and then you're allowed that, it is just like heaven. I eventually want to get to the point where you can start to add in what they call illegal foods. So I would love to add in cacao powder because I miss chocolate so bad. And no, it's never going to taste like Cadbury milk chocolate, but I miss, like, I used to make cacao balls and whatnot. Eventually, like maybe a year, so maybe in October I'll try it and just see how it goes, just a little bit at a time. And if it's okay, like if my body tolerates it, then that's fine. And then I'd really love to add in sweet potato because, hello, sweet potato chips. The more you eat the legal foods, the more you're healing your gut. Like I've had colitis for 11 years now, but I've been eating incorrect, if you want to say, for 10ish years. So I just see it as how much damage I have done to my body by constantly putting in the bad food and feeding the bad bacteria. So then eating like this, I feel like I'm healing my body enough to the point where I could add in illegal food and it will tolerate it again. So I want to talk about exercise. After all the steroid use I've had in the past 11 years, it has now deteriorated my bone density and I have osteopenia. So that's one step away from having osteoporosis. I'm 28 years old. I don't want osteoporosis. You can build your bone density back up, and by doing that is strength and weight training. Pilates is like a really gentle exercise on your body too. So if you're feeling run down and not totally 100%, which sometimes I am, sometimes I just have bad days and I'm just like, oh, my body feels exhausted. Pilates is gentle, it's not like cardio based. Emotional support, I think this is huge. Dealing with a chronic illness on your own is just not possible. It is so hard. I'm sure my husband is sick of me. Like the amount of times I think he's heard me go, oh, I'm sick today. I keep going and going and going until I'm pretty much on my deathbed, which is probably not a good thing. But I think a lot of people know that about me. Like I won't give up until I pretty much can't go anymore. Where I worked, they were all so supportive of me. I was very lucky to have the colleagues I had and the boss I had. They all understood and did everything and anything that I needed. And yeah, my parents, I feel like I can always vent to them. Then like they're just those people that are never going to judge you. Same with my husband. Like there's just always things that I feel like your husband doesn't want to hear about, but he's heard things that I feel like I wish he never knew. But then once you have a baby, I feel like, well, that goes out the window too. My sister's a good outlet, but you need to talk about it to someone or even a psychologist. I went and saw a psychologist not long ago and it was good to start off with. You just need to find those people that you can vent to, because if you bottle all that up, you're just going to make yourself sick as well. The stress is not going to be easy. Hi.
Hi.
No. You want to say hi?
Hi.
Wave. No, we're not pressing the button. Natural therapy has helped me tremendously with a lot of things, but mainly ulcerative colitis. I go to acupuncture every fortnight. When I am sick, I go every single week, and now I'm down to every fortnight, and the past one I did 3 weeks because I was feeling amazing. But I don't know, I hate needles and I struggled at the start, but now I'm used to it. He works on like my gut health, obviously. He works on like hormonal things, stress, anxiety. And then the other thing is naturopaths. Instead of going to doctors and just being prescribed the next pill, we should be going the natural route until I'm past gone and I need help. So then lastly, I want to talk about drugs. The Western medicine. They are fantastic. Like we need them. Like I have been on so many different drugs in the past 11 years. I couldn't even tell you how many. some with the most ridiculous side effects you'll ever think of. Some I have even said no to. You can say no to any drug. Yeah, so there's been a drug that my doctor wants to put me on. It's called azathioprine. He's been wanting to put me on it for the past, I'm gonna say, good year or so. I don't want to go on it just because we are wanting to have another baby. He said it is safe. My obstetrician said it is safe, but if you can avoid it, it's better off. It's kind of drug at the start. You have to have weekly blood tests because it can then cause organ failure to your other organs. I feel like with all the medicine that you get offered, I feel like you should do your own research into what the long-term effects are. I had no idea about the long-term effects with steroids, and then there are many other drugs that have long-term effects. Oh, just things you just are shocked. You're like, okay, so you're gonna fix one problem but then cause another. It didn't make sense to me. Now I am only on a maintenance drug called, they're Salifox sachets, so they're mesalazine, I'm pretty sure. So if I was in a flare, they wouldn't do anything. They're not that strong. So for me to only be on them and doing diet is amazing for my body. You just want to be able to get to the root cause and stop putting a band-aid on it pretty much with some of these drugs. I'm not saying drugs are a bad thing. Like I definitely take them when I'm at the point where there's nowhere else to turn. Like I can't get better on my own or with acupuncture or with herbs. Just know that like it is your body and you do have a choice of what goes in it. There's always an alternative and you just have to be patient, I guess, and but not be silly at the same time. If you need the drugs, you need the drugs. If you have any further questions, just let me know. I tried to cover everything that I like is personal to me. It might not work the same for another person because this disease is so annoying and every single thing, exercise, food, is completely different from one to the next. So if you like my video and subscribe to my channel, you'll see more footage coming soon. Thank you, bye! So the specific carbohydrate, sorry. Are you okay? Can you not draw on the bed, please? Look, you've already drawn on the bed. Ta. Yeah. All different things here.